BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy. Cool, do I have your attention? Let's talk about something really important, and it's how American propaganda shapes the way you understand things, like your literal worldview. And I want to bring up a couple of facts, and when you put them together, it starts to make a lot more sense. 1. The United States throws away more in food waste annually than what is needed to feed the entire population of Earth. I'm not talking about just the homeless people in the United States. I'm talking about the entire world. That is annually. 2. Corporate wage theft is the only form of theft that is not criminally prosecutable, with exceptions of states like New York, California, and maybe some other ones introducing legislation like Colorado. Corporate wage theft is not criminally prosecutable. You cannot take a corporation to court and get people jailed for the theft. 3. Corporate wage theft contributed to $53 billion in stolen wages through unpaid labor from people like you and I. 4. Federally, what is recognized as grand larceny is theft with property accruing to a value of over $2,000 and can face from anywhere between 1 to 24 years in prison and upwards of a fine of $1 million, including higher if restitution to the victim is required. Now, in a vacuum, these facts still are kind of related. But the reason I brought up American propaganda is because when you connect these facts to the attempt or agenda of what information you're not being told or isn't being focused on, the intent becomes clear. See, while grand larceny charges seem to exist and actually stick to retail theft thieves at about 4,000 per 100,000 citizens, I'd like you to try and name one single person who's been held criminally responsible for corporate wage theft. Can you name a single news story where these $53 billion in stolen wages from companies that are reporting billions of dollars of profit has been discussed? But Rohan, the food waste thing, why did you bring that up? I'm glad you asked, imaginary version of me, because what I'm pointing out to you is that the message, the attempt, the goal is to make you think that things like overpopulation and lack of resources is the reason you should be in competition with your fellow member of class, instead of thinking about these issues on a systemic level. You see, the narrative is to make you think it's natural and an inclined part as to why people perform theft and should be seen as criminally punitive along every measure. But corporate wage theft, well, who do we blame for that? You see, if I always make it seem like there's a lack of supply to things like food or housing. Another good fact for you, there's more empty houses in Los Angeles than there are homeless people on the street of Los Angeles. If the goal is to stop getting you to think about things systemically and question and say, why is it like that as a whole? Why is wage theft not criminally chargeable, but we've been forcing punitive measures on mom stealing baby formula from Target? You'll stop thinking about competition with each other and trying to fix the systemic issue. See, a corporation's greatest ally in this conversation is to get you to stop thinking about the systemic issues and the distribution of resources and to falsely think about the scarcity of these resources. Because if you stop thinking about what's the system that's causing this disparity, you start to see people's shortcomings as individual, personal, and an externality that you're willing to deal with.